Michaela, what is your logic when you're looking for a tune, beginning with a lyric?
Well, I actually try and just sing something. So I just start singing.
Or you invent it with your mouth?
I try and then sometimes I come up with a chord sequence, but very often I just take it off the table and start singing.
In your head, or for real?
Or for real sometimes, yeah. So...
That's unusual, because most of the tunes I thought were found on strings, either piano or guitar.
Well, sometimes I can come up with a chord sequence. See, I do the actions as well. Maggie, get in your bed. But often I just try and sing something. So I just try and do that immediately, otherwise it can get a bit...
So it's the moment after you've sort of absorbed what the lyric's about.
Yeah. As Jeff was saying, you look at the lyric and maybe you can get a clue as to what kind of music it should be, because of it might give a clue to a culture.
Yeah, so you've got like some stock genres, haven't you?
Yeah, so in my head, because I've listened to music for so long, I have all the kind of chord sequences and arrangements and patterns. They're patterns.
Patterns, yeah.
They're already there.
So it's a matter of choosing the patterns.
So sometimes I just choose a pattern which I think might fit. But other times I'll look and does this feel as if it should be fast or slow? Is it in a minor or a major key? And then I work from that. And sometimes I may start on something and then find later on in your verses that actually what I'm doing isn't fitting with the feel of it. Because I'm trying to work that instantly, that I haven't looked ahead to see exactly what the song is about.
Right.
I'm just straight away singing.
Oh, you're right away beginning on the first verse without having read the rest?
Yeah.
Right. So as soon as you're reading, you're beginning to make a tune of it.
Yeah, so I'm not necessarily looking for the sensibility of the lyrics straight away.
Right.
I'm just seeing what will fit.
Yes. You're almost saying the first thing might be, shall I go up or down here?
Yeah.
Because up and down is an important thing, isn't it, with melody?
Yeah. Well, I can take anything, I suppose. I was just trying to look for something.
Yeah, a bit of text, you mean?
A bit of text, yeah.
Yes.
I might have a magazine here. Maybe that's not
just find a phrase.
This hollow bodied thin line with an overcoy top. I can just take anything and sing a melody to it.
Yes.
So that's partly what I do.
Have you always been able to do that?
It's partly a skill I've developed through my faith, because we're given writings and we have to try and, for our own benefit, memorise them. And they can be quite long texts, or texts that don't have... they're not stanzas, don't have a rhythm to them. Mm. So in order to sort of put that to a melody you have to be quite quick at finding something.
So you're doing that as a memory?
To memorise the lyric. To memorise the lyric, yeah. To memorise the word, the writing, yeah.
So
text.
Maybe that's where song originates. From I think a religious background where you have to remember texts.
Well, certainly there's oral traditions that go back before writing, that how we learnt something was through story, wasn't it, and singing.
Through rhythm.
How are we going to remember how to get to a certain place? Well, you'd memorise things by probably keeping it in a song in your head, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the musical memory is the most powerful memory we have. So if we can attach melody to words, then it keeps it in our heads.
Yeah.
And that's why people with Alzheimer's, things like that, you can still drag them back to the songs of their youth, their childhood, because that's lodged somewhere in their brain.
Yes, right. What have you learned? I remember after we'd done 60 songs, and we've now done 600,
Yeah.
you said you didn't think we could do any more. You thought that, we just invented enough.
Yeah.
But you went on.
I went on, but I still think sometimes I could possibly just repeating formats maybe, because I have so many patterns in my head. And if you're using similar musicians, I suppose some musicians are very comfortable in some genres. Maybe if you brought some in from Africa
something
or somewhere
really wacky,
or Cuba, where they got rhythms that we don't use in this country so much.
That would be stimulating, wouldn't it?
Then you'd be off on a completely different tangent. You could, because my knowledge of rhythm is quite basic, so I know some different ways to play. But someone who's in 5/4 or 6, in 7/8 or something, does that easily, and I may not.
When you worked with the gospel singer,
yes,
she was thrilled. She said, I'm just going to keep out of this one. Michaela's doing it beautifully.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Yes, yeah.
That was interesting. But yes, we need to throw in more people.
Yeah.
Also, you said early on a thing which I totally ignored, which was that I ought to change my meter.
Yes, you tend to write in 4 lines, whereas I said before that I'm used to taking a text which isn't in a verse or stanza structure, and trying to create a song from something that isn't a song.
Well, I'll give you some texts.
Yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Just a short text.
Yes.
That would be good. Should I throw in any rhyme words or not?
Doesn't necessarily have to be, but I could cut and paste a few things possibly.
Yeah. No, yes.
Or take out lines which I think you could repeat.
I'll put some blank papers, some scissors and some glue down.
I just wrote it.
You can restructure it. No, that's a good idea. It's a good idea, because that's what Chris and Gowdy was saying, that I should vary my meter.
Yeah.
And that if I look at Cole Porter, for instance, I don't know, Gowdy said something about Manhattan, Staten Island. That one.
We'll take Manhattan, the Bronx and Staten Island too. So you can see the rhyme is in the middle of the line. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is, I think that could help vary it, couldn't it?
Definitely, yeah. It would stop you getting into certain formats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the system that we work? It's fairly chaotic. I mean, I know it's lyric-led. We have a choice of rooms, so the acoustics varies.
Mm-hmm.
We always have a different mix. It's interesting how we find suddenly Angeline and Jeff work together, although they'd all been there from they'd been there from day one. They never worked together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So that's exciting. Maria and Misha, for instance.
Yes, yeah. Making other people work with each other is a great idea. Yeah. And also different instruments.
Yes, we're getting more cello now.
Yeah.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes I just feel I can't play the guitar. I have to go and play a different instrument, So
Yes,
otherwise you do the same thing all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're happy to go on with it?
Yeah, it'd be nice to have, as I say, if you could have a few different cultures. I don't know how we do that in Cornwall, but
We should be able to.
To force it into some different places, really.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, I mean, as I say, my range may be limited, in my understanding of music.
Yes, okay. Some different instruments, some different cultures, and vary the meter. Those are 3 things that we could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, for instance, if you're an Indian singer, you sing notes in between our scales. So we've got 12-note scale, and they would vary it. So, different cultures have a different perception of what music is sometimes, or their rhythm is, slightly different.
What about the introduction of different dancing too with it? Do you think that's interesting?
Yes, anything that broadens it out, I suppose. Yeah. Yeah.
So you have enjoyed the experience?
Yeah, well, I haven't done a lot of writing for myself recently, but it's reassured me that I don't have to worry about that because I can do it I know I can do it instantly. It's just whether I have got something to write about.
Yes.
The creativity is there. I mean, I believe that, it's a divine virtue anyway, so creativity comes from the creator, so the tap is
Yes,
never
how you
turned
tap
off.
in. That's the point,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's right. And the actual creativity is never turned off. If you see what I mean? It's our barriers that create that. Yeah.
Yes.
It's always
But
there.
I think it's interesting how logical your approach is.
Right.
Because I do believe that accessing inventiveness is a very logical process, which
Yeah.
involves feelings and structures.
Yes. Yeah.
That if you're stuck, you need some structure,
Yeah.
and then you go with feelings. You really whiz between the two, don't you?
Yeah. And you have to. I suppose you have to make sure you're inspired. You need inspiration, don't you?
Do you?
Yeah, I think if you do, you need to see something in a different way, or see something about somebody, or
It's a little observation.
observation.
It could be as small as that. That still counts as inspiration.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. So,
Yes.
as you were saying about giving somebody an image
Mm.
or a feeling about something, that's what's inspiring people.
Well, that's what I think drives. I don't know. I can't think of it as inspiring so much as actually it's the driving force that creates the energy to, invent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
So.